G'day everybody, it's Max, and welcome back to the Dyson Sphere Program, the 12 Colonies, that's right. And in this episode, we are going to be off on adventure to begin the actual building and expansion into the colonies to start building our Dyson Sphere on the Blue Giant. But before we do that, I'm just bringing you back here for a couple of minutes to have a look around, simply because it's really nice when everything is so balanced. Everything is running in harmony. There's no backups, no tie-ups, no nothing. It's really freaky, actually. The entire planet is continuously running all the time without any hiccups, no bottlenecks, no nothing. It's actually really scary. It's just humming right along, right? Science running at full output. As fast as it's getting the stuff, it's putting out the stuff. Each of the colors is just running away as fast as it can. Of course, the oil field, of course, is running full tilt, but it's using everything it's getting in is going out. It's just really cool to see something so balanced. It's just really awesome. As you can see, we are running research full tilt, but we will not be able to keep this pace up much longer. We have to get white science running, and to get white science running, we need antimatter. We need the antimatter things. Where are they? Where are you hanging out at? You're here somewhere. I know you are. Yes, we need to unlock the things and the things. Does actually, I know it shows it somewhere. I just can't find it for the moment. And that's fine. Anyway, what we need is that we need them protons and all the things, right? To keep going with the white science, because of course we have it unlocked. But we need that antimatter to make that happen. And of course, we're also going to want that because we want this too, right? Because we want antimatter fuel rods. Now, we still have plenty of science left here to do that. And that's why I'm starting the episode here and now, because we will shortly have to be underway to getting out there into the big yonder of the other 11 colonies and get the Dyson Sphere started, at least started, so as we can start drawing in those protons, right? And then getting them shipped back here to get white science going. Because once all the colored science is done, the white science, of course, we will be converting half of these labs over into white science labs, where they will just pull the colors off the line and then turn it into white science. Then it's going to slam that science into the lab beside it, which of course should then take care of that little thing. And then everything here should just keep right on humming along like it is right now. Just continuous humming. There's a lot of power being used. But it should just keep humming right along, right? In its all balanced glory, which is really nifty. So with that, I'll bring you back here shortly. I'm going to keep letting the science carry on. I'm going to get supplies together. I've been kind of stashing up. I have one planet left to go. In fact, let's zoom out a little bit here. I've actually updated Maximus 5. That's our ice planet. It now has a full system of ships going in and out of it. It's collecting resources and pulling them out. So it's doing that. I've been to Planet 1. I have updated this planet to do the same thing. So it's pulling in lots of resources now from this planet. It's able to do that. And I want to be able to update Planet 2 to do the same thing. So it is still using its single tower, kind of half shoved in the middle somewhere. It was, in a parking kind of scenario. Yeah, so like unlike the other planets all around where their towers are at a pole and the whole thing, this guy's just got his one tower. It's right there, and he's doing a thing. I'm going to finish cleaning him up. I'll probably bring you back for just the ends of that, just to show you like what one planet looks like when it's all cleaned up and then towered up and ready to go. Because really, the Maximus system itself will literally take care of itself, right? It does have enough resources to keep running that 200 science a minute for the foreseeable future. I mean, it does have, this really is one of the three systems that actually has a decent amount of resources. Outside, of course, the home planet, which had hardly anything. And of course, what we want to do here is we want to be able to have this basically its own self-contained environment. Yes, we are bringing in acid from the outside from one of the colonies, and we are bringing in the organic crystals from one of the other colonies. But besides that, everything else is contained within its own system. And it will keep running that science for a long time yet before it actually runs through this 10 million. Because we want to use the other 11 colonies to then put towards building the Blue Giant's Dyson Sphere. Because the other colonies, remember, 8 of these colonies have hardly anything. They're kind of junky, right? And 2 of the colonies are really, really good. And one of them is kind of, like us. It has like 10 million. Right? So we're going to have to push that pretty hard. So with that, I just want to kind of bring you in for a few minutes just to show you, the balance of running 200 science a minute is so balanced so well that everything is running in sync. There's no bottlenecks, no tie-ups, no anything. It's just all kind of running really, really well. And it's really, really nice to see. I will see you here in a sec. We'll just do this cut over. And we're back. And not only that, I have finally gotten around to renaming the 12 colonies. And so in this particular case, the Blue Giant star is now PyCon. And we are going to be going as our first stop is going to be Scorpia. So I have chosen this as the world that we will actually build much of our industrial rocket production on, as it is relatively close to the Blue Giant. It has a somewhat decent system to set up production facilities with, and it also has a few key ingredients that we're looking for. The two systems, one of the two systems which has a large amount of resources, is also right beside it here at Virgon. And of course, we know that this system and this one over here are the two systems that actually have decent amount of resource material. So with that, we are going to actually set up here because of its location to the Blue Giant, to the black hole, to the home planet, to one of the at least 2 major resource systems that we still have. Now, we do have another slight issue going on at hand, and that is we are going through the stuff. Again, it appears stuff gets used. Who knew, right? So we're already down about 1 million from the start of this video. I know, like, what? I know, it's crazy. But we have basically stocked up on supplies. We are ready to hit the road, and we're going to jump on over now to Scorpia and get into taking care of that region. Oh, before we leave, I guess we should have a quick look here. I'd actually just thanks. Left hand for everything. Yep, we'll resume the stuff here. I had paused it temporarily as I've been fighting a graphite problem. I know, it's just one of those weird things. Now we can get up here for a second. As mentioned, the planets in the Maximus system have all been kind of cleaned up. All of them now have miners, towers, and all them wonderful kinds of things, which allows us to get through to actually collecting resources to keep the Planet Max going for the foreseeable future. But I was having a slight graphite problem, just kind of running short. My oil build, of course, there isn't a lot of oil on your original planet. You kind of get a little bit of a drab to kind of do science. So, of course, with even all the X-ray cracking I'm doing, I'm not doing enough to provide all the graphite so as to make graphene, to then make carbon nanotubes and all that stuff. So I just had to spend a little extra time taking care of that minor problem. Let's see. No. Nope. There we go. We will take that. Very good. Now, let's zip on over here, and we will have a look around exactly where we're going to set up shop for the final pieces. And Scorpia, of course, is the one other system that has a gas giant planet in it. So there, again, we're only dealing with 12 systems. It isn't like there's a whole lot of places with gas giants everywhere and all this stuff. Of course, the Maximus system has the gas giant, which of course you usually start with in the game. But Scorpia is the only other system which actually has the gas giant, and it's the blue gas giant with the fire ice on it, which of course comes in very handy. The other nifty part about that, though, is that the planet in orbit around it is the volcanic planet, which is perfect. Of course, volcanic planets are awesome to build large industrial centers on. So not only do we have our close supply of hydrogen and fire ice close by, but we're building it right on what I think is still the best planet to actually do a factory build on. It's usually got a lot of flat land. It comes with acid already, so you don't have to be worrying about that kind of headache. And of course, it's just got all them features there. Not only that, this system. Where is it here? It has an oceanic jungle planet on it, which is really nice. It's got almost 100 oil a second. It's got, all the other organic crystal stuff. The system itself is not bad, right? It is set up pretty hefty. It is, one of our top-end systems, so we can get this top-end system to get up and running and started without having to import a lot of stuff. And then, once we get started up and running, we can take the other colonies and start importing stuff in here as this one starts to run out. So we should be in good shape there. With that, I am now going to set up power. As you can see, I was here. I claimed the target with my one tower of just sitting here. I claimed for the science of building a Dyson Sphere. Another nice bonus of this system is it's got its own B-type star. I think it's a B-type. So it's a B-type star. It's got severe luminosity. It's got like a 1.5 luminosity of its own, which is really, really cool. So not only are we getting all the benefits of this system to actually be close to the blue giant star, but this itself should produce a lot of power, which is going to be beneficial for us doing our antimatter and all that stuff. I'm going to start stripping down the solar panels. That is the first goal at hand, to make sure that we get down all the solar panel-y things, to make sure that everything gets up and running here so as we can start to take advantage of our new placement. I'll bring it back shortly here once I have some panels down and kind of have the beginnings of the factory set up. And we're back. That's right. And so we're back in the Scorpia system, and several hours have passed since the last recording. In fact, we're going to make a quick left turn here and head on over to Scorpia Prime. Now, the plan, of course, is to use Scorpia as the main building center for Dyson Spheres, and of course, just kind of like in my last series, the Vulcanite planet, the volcano planet, which is in orbit over there, Scorpia 3, is the perfect setup for that, and it's got the nice blue giant beside it, so you have lots of stuff. It's great, but it is more of a finishing planet than it is an actual raw materials planet. And I soon came to the realization that I was going to have enough space. I don't know if the size of the planet's just smaller than the last one I worked on or whatever, but in any case, it just seemed like it was not going to be enough. So we're going to take advantage of the 5-planet system here to do basic materials on basic material planets, and then of course, as we get more closer to the refined materials, closer to the end product, we'll do those over on the Scorpia 3 system. So obviously the lava planet here, Scorpia Prime, has the most of the raw material of this system, and so it would only make sense that we make most of the raw material here to ship over to there, and that is what's now being done here on Scorpia Prime. Obviously, we are now going to do the first 3 of the raw materials, which of course is iron, copper, and titanium, and we're going to turn those on here shortly and see how they whip right on up. Now, there isn't a lot of power on this planet, so I'm not going to fire all the towers up and all the things. That being said, though, we are going to fire up 1 lane of each. And I know these look a little quirky. So before we fire one up, we should actually talk about why they look quirky and their design. Now, the lane design here, of course, is designed that it can do lanes of 30, right? So in this case, a line of 1800, of course, feeding 30 machines should use a full line of material, and that's fine. Now for the explanation of the dual towers. It's the 2 towers. Pretty cool. The first tower is local supply. So in this particular case, this tower here is going to local request materials and give out the end product. Basically, that's it. Okay. The end product is going to leave from here and go probably over to Scorpia 3, which is where it will probably end up. Now, the reason that I'm using full-size towers for that, of course, is that later on you need up to 5 slots to handle. You need 5 slots to handle all your requesting materials. So things like, for example, let's say something like this, right? Like if we were going to make organic crystal or whatever. You need three ingredients to do that, so you would need 5 slots to handle all your requests. So in this case, this is a very flexible build. Obviously, all we're doing is making iron here, so these 2 lanes won't even get used. So these will be empty lanes, so you're going to have raw material coming down this lane and finished material on this one. And these other lanes here were if this needed 2 or 3 material. Now, the tower in the back is for importing material from out there. So obviously, this planet is going to run out eventually of raw material, which is, of course, what would be fed into the first tower. And the second tower is going to request that material from out there, wherever the systems are going to provide it. And what happens is, of course, is as the planet starts to run out, we will be getting less and less material into these first towers. But we don't want to cut them off either. We would rather it use the material on the planet first because it's slightly quicker to get here. So the way these towers work is the local material will get used first, because the back tower can only unload its material once the front tower has emptied. And that is what you see going here, is the lanes are forcibly paused from the front tower to let the front tower continue to empty out first. And that is what you see here with these two towers. So with that, we're going to fire these up. Or, well, one set of towers at a time is what we're going to do. I don't dare risk firing them all up. There just is not enough power here yet. Back in Planet Max, we are gearing up to try and get more power here. But again, one of our biggest drawbacks, of course, is that we're only using Deuteron fuel. And so what I'm doing is I'm stashing that up so as we can kind of get everything built. Then, of course, be able to fire things up and start launching rockets as soon as possible, so as we can start making antimatter fuel and get that up and running. So just like with every other build, we got to start with the basics. You need iron, we need the copper, we need the titanium, we need silicon, and we need stone for glass. And these three are going to be made here. Stone actually is going to be made over here on planet 5 because it has more of it. I think it's planet 5, maybe it's planet 4. Anyway, one of the planets out there has more stone than here, so we're gonna let it do the stone making. And of course, planet 3, which is of course the ocean jungle planet, will handle more of our other needs. With that, let's fire this up, because we have lots of towers, by the way. Oh, we have plenty of tower hoods. We've got lots of towers all over the place, getting ready to transport all this stuff into here. So let's turn this on, and so in this case we are going to local demand, and with that, boom, we should start seeing delivery right away of the things. And if we zoom this out a little bit, looks like it's going to try and deliver as much of that from this tower, but oh, here comes a bunch of flyers from over on this tower. Oh, looks like we got some flyers coming over from these towers, and they're all coming in here, and they're all going to start dumping off here in a second. Look at that. Perfect. Awesome sauce. There we go. Look at that. That's how you dump in a bunch of material. Right on. Fill those lines. Yes, perfect. Now, the other thing here is that the need here, we need 19,200 iron a minute, and that's about 320 machines. There should be 66. There should be 360 machines here. Now, again, because we're using tower logistics, we kind of have to overcompensate for flying delay, right? So we have these towers here. We have the drones flying stuff back and forth. That's a delay. That's a delay in material delivery, right? So we have to kind of make sure that we're on top of that all the time. So there's actually, for all of these builds, I'll be over-engineering them for their needs. Now, the next one we want to have a look at, of course, is copper. Copper is back this way, actually. And for copper, we need, 10,400 or 173 machines. But again, we are over-engineered for this, so we should have more than enough. In fact, let's check our output right now for power. So, yeah, it's a little tight for power. And will be until that tower fills up. So this one's going to probably be a little risky to turn on, but we're okay with that. We can always run a little risk. And again, this will just be a local demand tower, right? We're going to local demand this tower, and at the same time, we're going to eventually switch this over to remote ship it wherever we want. But for now, we're just local demanding the tower. Everything's fine. Nothing exciting going on here, right? And of course, we should get a zoom out on this, because here come the drones. Get a little bit of that sun action behind us, because that sun, boy, that's bright. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. Boy, the old planet's just coming alive now, isn't it? And we only got one row of each turned on. Like, if I were to turn on all the rows all at once, it would be like, whoa, what are you doing, man? Holy smokes. Now, of course, again, this row will fill up here shortly, and then, of course, that should back off on the power needs, so as we can go turn on our third and final component. But while we're waiting for that, and you can see it's starting to slowly drop now, and that's great. That's exactly what we want. Oh, I forgot to hook up the lanes. Oops. My bad. Here, let's actually do that first. You need to do this. You need to do this, and you need to do that, and you need to do that. Now, the center ones, again, these are only one item in, one item out, so these center lanes are never going to be used, but this is part of my copy-paste design, so of course it's always going to put the center lanes in. And of course, now the power is going to like shoot right up, right? Because I just now added a whole bunch of stuff to it. But that's all right. We'll give it a couple minutes. Let's go to the top of the planet here to have a look. So of course, I've been dragging materials back and forth from Maximus to here. And yes, I could build an automated system for that. But at the same time, I am a player where I like to personally investigate my factories. I like to see the stuff going on and the things going on. I've got 121 hours into this game so far, into this save file, and I want to see what it is I've got for my 121 hours, right? I want to see the machines all blinking and moving, and I want to be able to stare at all the drones flying. And I can't do that if I just bring stuff all here automatically all the time. So I still go back and forth to pick up material. Of course, so I've been we have lots of belts and things that have been brought here. Lots of smelters, of course, because that's the big thing we're going to do. We have drones here, intergalactic spaceships, of course, because we're going to need to transfer this stuff. And, of course, we got lots of towers because, well, there's more to make. There's a lot more to make. How are we doing there for the big power stuff here? Okay, so it is slowly starting to drop. And I'm assuming that's because you're filling up, right? Yes. So I would expect this to be filling up, filling. Everything is filling. Yeah, except for the very end lines, and that's cool. That's great. That's exactly what we want. And this will be coming close to fill here shortly. And then, of course, now we can probably make her over to the titanium, start that one up, and that will call this an episode for now. And then, of course, we'll talk about next episode. So, that's our iron? Nope. Now, for titanium. Yes, here we go. Titanium. We need, where's my number? 8,000 a minute of this. The goal, of course, is 200 rockets and 10,000 solar sails a minute. That is that we're benchmarking on. So, in this case, we're going to make sure these get joined up. And this. The center lanes, again, aren't being used. These are only a one-item component, so the lanes 2 and 3 don't get used. And just like before, look, I haven't even got this one done yet. So we're just going to remote storage that, and we'll put this tower here. I think I have the N one down there done, and not this one up here. But that's all right. We'll just make this one happen instead. There we go. We're going to take 50. We'll slap 50 in there, and everything should be good to go. Oh, we're not going to supply anybody with that right now. We will demand this, and that will start pulling him in from all kinds of locations and the things. And so if we zoom out here, yeah, sure enough, we got a whole bunch of titanium right over here, so that's going to start pulling in this direction. Looks like these guys are coming over here to pick up from this one. Did I not put tower? Oh yeah, okay, I did put drones in, but the power's off on this one. I must have forgot a power pole. I will go take care of that. Gosh darn. Yeah. But yes, it looks good. Lots of material coming out, and you know what? I will run down here and give him a power pole. This poor guy, got no power. Of course, that's going to really hamper all my power needs at the moment because Charging up these towers, of course, takes a little bit of a hit when you first turn them on. Boom. Do I not have power? Do I not have power poles? Oh, okay, there we go. I guess just bad placement. Bad placement on my first go. Okay, there we go. That's right. Send that up there, big guy. Yes, there we go. So we have begun the building of the rockets and the materials and the solar sails for a Dyson Sphere. And of course, with that, what are we doing on the next one? Well, we've got to continue. So next one is we're going to have stone out here on, I think it's Scorpio 4 or 5. Yeah, so that's got 1.6 million stone. This has 3 million stone. Scorpio 2, that's the fire ice giant. No, I want the other planet. Give me the other planet. Yeah, this only has 1 million stone, so I guess we're going to use planet 5 for this, because it's got about 3 million stone. And it's going to be the biggest of the smelter builds. You need, I think it's like 600 smelters to do the stone, which is why planet 5 will probably just be the stone planet. And then, of course, for the silicon and stuff, we'll probably use, we might use the actual ocean jungle planet for that, because, once again, it's kind of got all the material, right? And it turns out my oil build will not be as big as usual on this one, as we convert even more of these gas, as we take advantage of the gas giant that's parked right beside it. So we're hopefully not going to need as much of that planet to be oil. So we'll see how it goes. I'm Max. This is the Dyson Sphere Program, the 12 colonies, and we have finally begun the Dyson Sphere rocket building program. And here on Scorpio Prime, we are now building the basic material blocks and continuing on to hopefully soon have rockets flying in the air. And I will see you on the next one. Take care.